Yeah.
I can't see you.
I can't lean.
Why?
Because I've just been to the physio.
Oh, okay then. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
There's been a spate of burglaries in town, have you heard?
No.
The police, they've been finding yarn in all these different burglaries that have happened.
Right.
They're worried that the criminals are following some sort of pattern. I think we should get on with the show.
That was quite funny. Did you make that up yourself?
I amended it.
Right.
Yes. I started, and this is twisted rib. Double stitch, isn't it? Yes.
Double stitch, isn't it?
No, isn't it knit?
One.
Oh, isn't it one? Oh, right, okay, sorry. Sorry, yeah, I'm over that. Okay. Have you got something to
I have.
Cool. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Wow. It's the first pop of 2016.
It is, isn't it?
How unbelievably exciting.
Very exciting.
And we've had a busy day already, haven't we? As you heard. We've been to the physio.
I'm a little bit drained.
The physio as well told me I need to spend more time with Bryony. Life lessons from the physio.
We were going to record this morning before I went to the physio, but I was in that much of a state about it, because that's just how I work, that I couldn't do it, so Dan's laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me?
Because I've just realised
What?
we should be doing a Kay's tip.
Oh, I've no chance, darling. Absolutely zero chance of producing a tip. My brain is mush.
Kay's tip is to sit properly
Yes.
when you're sewing.
My tip, yes. We don't know for definite that's what's caused my
Yes, well,
problem.
I think we have a fairly good
because
idea.
who can say for definite about anything,
That's true.
really? But you know, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
You have your exercises though, don't you?
I've got my exercises to do, and actually,
You should have seen her when she was being examined. It was really funny.
it really
Push,
hurts.
push,
She's
push.
like, push against my arm or whatever. I'm like, I can't. It hurts.
And some of the instructions were quite complex.
They were, and I'm like, what?
I would have struggled.
Pull my
I'm going to hold your heel and you have to push with your
No,
forearm.
pull your heel back towards your bum. What? Do what?
Whilst I'm holding on to it. Go on,
Yeah,
go
I
on,
was
go
like,
on.
what?
Yeah.
I was doing everything wrong.
But you came through that with flying colours.
Well, I suppose.
Well, you did, because she said so. So that's good.
Alright.
So now we're here, and normally it's 9 or 10 o'clock and it's time to pop, but right now it's 12:27 and it's time to pop. Doesn't really work. No, I think we should get on with it.
Yes.
Okay, Jones, what's on your needles?
Oh, well, I've just started doing this. I'll do that, and then I can show it.
Yes.
Well, I have finished one of my P.O.P projects.
Oh, wow.
That's really excellent.
That is
news, isn't
amazing.
It is amazing. So I've only got one thing on the go at the minute that has been very much neglected. And, you know, I'm sorry it's been neglected because I do want to get on with it. And it's my worsted weight, little scrappy, I say blanket, but I'm actually going to make this into a cushion. Can you remember a while back I made a cushion out of 2 log cabin squares? Do you remember? It's in our living room. It's in the chair in the living room. We use it every day. And it worked amazingly well. And I was knitting this and I thought, oh, do you know what? I might do the same with this because the cushions on our sofa have seen better days and we really need new ones. And this might be nice as one of them.
Yeah.
And, it was just the right size that when I double it over like that, I think it's about 19 inches. So I thought if I got a 20-inch square, cushion pad, it would fit in perfectly. That's doubled. But
What is that square?
it's a mitered square.
You know the one with the tiny mitered squares?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Nothing. This is just bigger yarn and bigger needles.
Okie dokie. Carry on.
It's exactly the same apart from bigger yarn and bigger needles.
Carry on.
So I'm using worsted and DK scraps for this because they're much of a muchness, I think, worsted and a DK. And I've got, got it in my lovely bag from Susan. Girl Cave bags. And it's absolutely stuffed to the gills. Can you see how much... Oh, I don't want to drop it in my tea. It's stuffed to the gills with minis that lovely people have sent me. There's a lot from lovely Amber. Thank you, Amber. And then various ones from other lovely viewers as well who have sent me, you know, little odds and ends. And I've got some beautiful ones to put in. So I do really want to get back to this. And a few people have actually asked me about these teeny tiny needles that I use.
Curse you teeny tiny needles.
I know, curse you teeny tiny needles. Can you see the little 6-inch straight needles? I got these from Woolstack in the UK. It's an online shop. I'm sure they will ship abroad. It's Knit Pro Nova, the metal ones. But the only issue is they start at 3mm. I'm sure it was 3mm because I really wanted some for my sock yarn blanket, but they don't go small enough. But if you're doing, you know, a DK or worsted weight, then they're super cute. Mine are 3.75mm that I'm using because I wanted a denser fabric. You know, I didn't want it to be too kind of loosey-goosey once it's all made. Loosey-goosey. So I'm using these cute little things, and they are super, you know, it does make the whole thing more fun.
Yes.
Working with like teeny tiny little needles.
Yes.
Very cute.
I couldn't do that.
No, I don't think you could. Could you?
No. What's on my needles, I hear you say?
So what's on your needles?
Well, this is now, I can't remember if I said last time, I'm sure I will have mentioned that I was worried that I didn't really have a P.O.P project. Well, you may have noticed on the main Bakery Bears podcast, the Wind Threat by Stephen Webb has not been making an appearance, and that's because it has become my P.O.P project.
You have promoted it to P.O.P.
I have indeed promoted it to P.O.P. So there it is, and I find that particularly opportune because I would like to talk about how amazing this yarn is in the socks that came made me for Christmas.
Yeah.
They're my favourite socks by a country mile. They are just perfect. They fit brilliantly, and the yarn's great, and they work in every shoe, and they're not too warm, they're not too cold, and they're comfortable. I couldn't be happier with them.
And it was from Deb, as you know, Fondant Fibre, and the
sock. Adriani, I'll have you know.
And I know a lot of you got some of it, and it's the sock base that she did, which she does. It's not the same sock bases that she normally does. It was a BFL, a nylon, but it had other wools in there as well. So really nice.
Do you know what would make this perfect?
Quite a rustic yarn, the sock yarn, but maybe that's why it's really good.
I know I'm a bit obsessed, but I'm just imagining this now in a hand spun. One that's going thick and thin, and I get really excited. But I do have an obsession with hand spun.
I'm trying to sit straight and not slam.
Haven't we had a busy week?
Very busy.
Knit Along with Kay started yesterday.
Did it?
Yes, she doesn't even know. How exciting is that?
I haven't even watched it back.
And you did.
Did I?
Yes. And thank you so much, because the response has been lovely. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, lots of people very excited.
And I've knit my rib. You'll be pleased to know.
And have many people too.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
I know he's so excited.
So everybody's ready for the next stage.
And yesterday, a behind the scenes came out from me.
Oh, very good.
Unbelievable. And do you know what? It was one of the hardest behind the scenes I've ever had to pull together.
Right.
Because I was trying to list I went through every level of patronage and what you guys should be receiving and how you go about getting it. So if you haven't watched it, and if you're uncertain, if you think, should I be getting that, shouldn't I be getting that, do go and give it a watch, because people who thought they were getting everything have found out things like the interactive video playlist that we send out.
Right.
Some people didn't realise that you can just tap on one of the titles and it'll take you straight to the video. So you do find out lots of cool little things in there.
Excellent.
And again, the response to that has been lovely, which has been really nice. So yes, we have been busy.
Very busy.
But so have our patrons.
Have they?
They've been knitting things.
Always busy.
Would you believe it? Should we take a look?
Why not?
Should we see what they've been knitting? Should we find out what Amber Nagel has been knitting?
Another Amber.
Yes.
We love an Amber.
We do. I like green though, because I get to go green. Sorry. Oh, now that just reminds me, someone asked, and I can't remember if it was a patron, they asked what a bed runner was.
Oh, right. Well,
it's not someone who likes to run on beds, although that would be good for your back.
Maybe it's something I've just made up.
No, I know what a bed runner is.
Oh, right, okay. It's like a table runner, but for a bed. It just
Goes on the bottom.
just sits along the bottom of the bed.
It doesn't run right down the middle.
Oh,
of
no,
the bed.
no. It goes...
That is so funny.
It goes across the bed.
So where your feet are.
Yeah, you know how normally you might put a top quilt folded, like at the minute we do have a top quilt folded at the bottom, and it just adds a bit of extra warmth at the bottom of your bed for your feet.
For your extremities.
Dan normally just throws it off his side onto my side.
It hasn't been happening every
because
night
it's
recently.
been freezing.
Yeah, it has been freezing, and also, as we've established many times before, I'm much colder now since chemo.
But that's what a bed runner is.
What is this that we're looking at down here? This is Amber's Afternoon Nose by Jenny Wihee.
It does look like Wihee. I'm sure it can't be that.
And she's knitting this for her son, who is 1.
Oh.
How cool is that? I love the collar.
Oh, no, maybe it's son number 1.
No.
Oh, is it not?
No, I made those notes. I know what I...
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, okay.
That's really funny.
Son aged 1.
I love the colour and I love the stripes.
Very nice.
How would you get those stripes? I've got no idea.
You just change your yarn, darling,
Right.
and then carry it up the side whilst you're doing the striping bit.
Do you know, I need to learn how to do that this year.
It's very easy.
Well, these are the skills.
I'm doing it at the minute on... I've got a new shawl design on the go.
Ooh.
And that's a little clue what I just said there.
Oh, yeah, say nothing.
Because I
Act
said
casual.
I'm doing it at the minute. Don't say anything.
Yes. But we love that. I love that green. It makes me think, actually,
Very
of the
nice
colour of the
green.
grass right now. It's
very
beautiful.
green, yeah.
But what is Catherine...
McQuinney.
Thank you. I'm really sorry. I didn't do very good there.
I know Catherine's name. I think I've sent you a message today on Instagram, Catherine.
Look at those cables.
Very nice.
They're looking very nice, and it was 3rd time lucky for her, though.
Right.
Yes. But now they are going, aren't they?
Yeah,
They do look really good.
I've never done cable on a sock.
Right.
I'm presuming that's a sock. It's not a mitten, is it?
It's got to be a sock.
It's got to be a sock.
With a nice long leg.
Yes.
Isn't it, Marcia? That's a nice long leg. We shall say no more.
Say no more.
Oh, and look at this.
Casual.
Look at this. Look at this. What's that? I see.
Oh, looks like a little Duchess of Devonshire shawl.
Yeah, she's going to carry on knitting it. She's not going to...
I know, I didn't mean...
It's like a mini version. It's Jen de Maria's
Oh,
first
Jen.
Duchess of Devonshire shawl.
Excellent.
And isn't the picture good? I love that wooden table that it's been taken on. Or maybe it's not a table.
Maybe it's the floor.
Maybe it is the floor.
Looks like the floor.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
probably is.
a lot of people take photos on the floor.
Yeah.
I think it shows them off really well.
Nice coloured yarn.
Beautiful. It's
I
like
like
a
it.
sagey sort of green, isn't it?
Yes.
Lovely.
And Linda Willer was all panicky because
Was
she
she?
thought she hadn't made it for the Cozy Toesies cow.
Oh, yes.
And she posted her socks, which
Yes. I told her
right
she's
there,
not too late. Yeah.
looking at
yeah.
us. And they're looking very nice.
They are.
What are those needles? They look
They
familiar.
look like signatures.
There you go.
Signatures that could be used as lethal weapons, I think, personally. You know, they're so blooming sharp.
And is that a tablecloth? Do you think that's...
Well, that could also be on the floor, couldn't
Yes,
it?
yeah. But looking nice. I like that colour, actually. That's definitely a manly colour.
The grey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I think so. So those are what's on all of your needles.
Excellent work.
And
Oh, my goodness.
What?
Have you seen how many entries there are in the Cozy Toesies so far?
It's amazing.
Over 200.
That's bonkers.
I can't believe it. It's definitely the most we've ever had for any knit along. I'm absolutely certain of that.
And my plan is that we credit every one of those to Marcia.
Oh,
so she
yes!
wins the competition.
Could we do that?
Marcia, they're all yours. I'm sure we would all be happy.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be allowed, will we?
That's so funny.
We might get discounted.
That's so cool at 200 entries. That's crazy.
It's more than that, yeah.
It's more than crazy.
No, it's more than
All right.
200. I think I looked this morning, I'm sure it's 230 odd or something.
Wow. And we've still got...
Still got another week
Yeah,
to
what's
go.
another week?
It's a week and a bit, isn't
Yeah.
it? 'Cause it's, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
there's probably 29. How many days in January is there?
31.
So
We've gone sock bonkers.
we've got 9 days left then.
Wow.
So I bet there's going to be, let's say 300.
Yeah.
I bet there might be 300.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And not only this week, the reason why I paused there for a moment was I
Can I
suddenly
stick with my
remembered...
tea? That's a little clue
To what?
to something that's coming up.
Okay. I have no clue what she's on about, so we shall continue.
Someone says that a lot. That's a clue.
Oh yes, okay. The trout versus the bear.
Oh yes.
Yes.
We've not told anybody that secret thing though, have we?
And we won't.
No, I'm not.
No, good.
I wasn't going to say it.
Good, good. I don't even know what the secret thing is, but say nothing. Don't say a word.
I'm not.
The Bakery Bear news will be coming your way next week, and it's super exciting. And that's what threw me, because you said about a cable on a sock.
Right.
And in the Bakery Bear news, we have, for the first time ever, an exclusive pattern for everyone. And I'm sure there's a cable on this running down.
I think there is a cable
There is.
on it, yeah.
From a brand new designer. It's not from me, okay? You'll be pleased to know. Well, no, that sounds wrong. It's from one of our lovely patrons. I won't say who it is at the moment.
Free pattern in the Bakery Bear news.
Yes, completely exclusive, just for you. So that's coming out.
She's not putting it on Ravelry, is she?
Not at the moment.
No.
So it's just for you.
Amazing.
Only
And it's a
available
really,
here.
really beautiful pattern.
Yeah.
So very excited.
It is. It's really, really exciting, and also particularly appropriate when you consider the title of the pattern. And you might not remember what it is, but if you think about some of the favourite places to knit we've been on, it links perfectly with that, which is great. So it's a new year. It's the first pop of that new year, and as you know, we like to always be thinking about how we can improve things, don't we?
We do.
We do. So I think it's time that we go over to our global knitting correspondent for a special report from Thailand.
Dan. I'm here at the Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Mai in northern Thailand, and you can see an elephant, tiny elephant behind me. I don't know where, but he's tiny. We're here, it's a conservation park where they actually take all of the elephants that from logging camps and from trekking companies, from tourist trekking companies, and they just let them be elephants instead of, I mean, I'm here as a tourist, but actually the money I'm giving is actually allowing them to buy more elephants off the loggers to actually come here, and it's just it makes me feel good. So I am knitting a pair of socks for my boyfriend who's going to join me in Australia, and my second pair of socks is a few gigantic mistakes, but I don't care because it's really nice. It's perfect for long journeys, but in Southeast Asia it's not very common at all, so I've been getting a few odd looks, but knitting in public anyway, regardless. We're in the elephant park now with these beautiful three ladies who have been rescued 3 months ago, and apparently they always hang out together, and they're just having a blast here at the Elephant Nature Park. I'll just give you a quick show around where I am. It's a beautiful valley, and there's just elephants everywhere. And people, but careful. I'm in my bed, my 4-poster bed tonight, and right outside my window is the elephants. They're sleeping. Well, they were. I don't know if you can hear that. The little baby elephant, and he's screeching around in there. He's having a little chat. Anyway, I wanted to show you what's off my needles. So I finished these when I was in Singapore. They're my Singapore socks. They're my first ever socks. They're so cute. Tiny, tiny little ankle, because I didn't know how much wool I'd need. And I don't think you saw these properly when I was working out. They're just like kind of a grey blue. They're turning out really grey on the screen. But that's what's on my needles, and I'm fairly close to the end. We're seeing lots of elephants again tomorrow. There's also a cat in the roof. Okay, so as well as 66 elephants, they have over 500, I think it's 500 to 700 dogs here. There's a lot of wild dogs in Thailand. most of them never get a chance to get their forever home, as they call it. And all of these dogs for adoption, most of them are online as well on the elephantnaturepark.com. If anybody would like to adopt one of these dogs, these are all the dogs that have already been adopted all around the world. I mean, obviously not all of them, but they also have flight volunteers, so that people like tourists like myself would come, and if they're flying out from Chiang Mai or Bangkok, they can actually take a dog to a certain airport. Okay, Dan and Kate, well, that's me. I've spent a whole night in the elephant park. This is Pompeii, one of the elephants here, and we're going to be heading away today. It's been one of the most amazing 24 hours of my life, and I hope you've enjoyed it and everyone else has enjoyed it too. So back to you in the studio, Kay and Dan.
How amazing was that?
Are you impressed?
And what was so amazing, Grace, you're a total
Amazing
legend.
Grace?
Yeah, Amazing Grace.
That's what we're going to call you from now on.
Grace is a total legend because she sent me through the raw. Well, we sort of cooked this idea up, and she went off and was going to the elephant park, which, as you've seen, is just totally stunning.
Lovely elephants.
What does Grace do? She's there on her own, touring the world. She only gets herself a camera woman.
Just accosts some woman.
But this camera woman clearly knows what she's doing because she sent me through a clip, and I heard her say, "Action!" She's got a crew.
And Grace, will Grace be watching? Will she be able to watch?
Yes.
You've got the most beautiful accent.
From Limerick.
She's from Limerick in
Yes.
Ireland. And I said to Dan, because Dan heard her voice first, and I said, "Oh, I'm sure she's from Ireland. Come and have a listen." So I did, and I said, "She's definitely from Ireland." And my mum's from a little village on the west coast of Clare called Quilty. It's actually not that far from Limerick. I don't know whether you know the area at all,
I think she
Grace,
does.
but your accent just reminded me of when I used to go and visit my mum. She doesn't live there now, but just beautiful, soft Irish accent. I absolutely love it. So thank you for having a lovely voice.
And she sent me a message earlier today, Grace did, Amazing Grace did.
Amazing Grace.
And she was having fun and games getting the ferry to Laos. And she was saying that I'm trying to avoid getting a Thai massage. And I said to her, you send the best emails.
I wouldn't want to avoid it. I could do with one, I can tell you.
Talk about an adventure.
Absolutely.
So Grace, thank you so much for
So
that.
where will she be next time?
I know. Well, the great thing is, I've asked Grace if she'd like to write in the Bakery Bear News. I think it's in May.
Right.
So she'll be writing a little. She'll have just left one part of the world and be heading off to another.
Right.
And she's going to write for us. So we'll get to find out, get to hear
Brilliant.
more from our global knitting correspondent.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know, it's so exciting.
Very exciting.
What I can't wait for is to find out what's off your needles.
Mine?
And also what's off your needles. Because you have a finished project.
I do. Shall we do mine first?
I think we should, because I did forget for a second that you had something.
I finished these actually a little while, well, I say a little while ago, maybe a week and a half ago, something like that. And I finished the socks that I was knitting, and I'm really, really pleased with them. So here they are. I hope you can see those okay. And my nails do match. I did do them lilac this morning. Just complete coincidence. But these are the socks that I knit from Molly's yarn, Homespun House, and it's a BFL nylon, and I doubled it. So these are technically a worsted weight sock, and I put in the blueberry waffle pattern. I did a really long cuff, well, I say a really long cuff, I think it was 20 rounds, but on a worsted weight that's quite a lot, because I thought they'd be cute if I cuffed them like that. That's sweet. And I put in,
they're nice.
Yeah, contrast teal. This one is some Eden Cottage yarns that I've had forever, and I've used it for all sorts of things. But I just thought the pink picked up the little pink specks in the sock.
Do you know what I noticed actually?
And I knit them on 3.25mm DPNs.
I was on your project page on Ravelry recently.
You devil.
I know. And there was
Well, it's a good job you're on mine, you're never on yours.
there seemed to be a lot of frogs on there.
Oh.
There was an awful lot of frogs. And some really, really nice projects
Right.
that you'd frogged.
Why are we talking about frogs? Are we talking about frogs for a different reason?
Well, I'm talking about frogs because you'd frogged a load of projects, and there was some that I looked at and I thought, that's really nice. What did you stop knitting that for?
Well, if you told me what they were, I could tell you why I stopped, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Hubba Bubba socks.
Oh, I dyed that yarn myself.
The yarn's amazing.
Didn't like it.
Oh.
Changed my mind.
Where is that yarn?
Threw it away, I think. That's terrible, isn't it?
But you didn't put it in a bin and stick bleach on it though, did you?
Did not put bleach on it. We know somebody that does that with her frogged projects.
But she won't be. Anyway, no, we'll carry on.
I thought you were talking about frogs for another reason.
No.
Can we not talk about that?
Well, probably not, because I've got no idea what you're talking about, so best that we don't talk about it, and then we won't end up saying something that I regret.
It must be so secret that you've forgotten about it.
Yeah, clearly.
It's the exciting...
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
they are beautiful,
yes.
and I love the heels, and I find myself getting more and more interested in, I see a heel now, and I'm thinking about it, and how is that done, and how would you do that, and I've just got a feeling, let's see what happens, but I have a feeling this year for me,
it's maybe
be
the year of the heels.
The year of the sock.
Oh right, you've said that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
But this one I did a garter bordered slip stitch heel, so I did 3 knits either side and then slip one, knit one, as you normally would, because I do like picking up from that garter border, and then I did a square heel. But you can see how I think it came out really neat. I'm really pleased with how that heel looks. I think it's very pretty. So yeah, I'm very pleased with those, and I think I'm going to save those for our next little trip away that we've got.
Good idea.
In the spring.
Yes.
Oh,
so,
really want the spring.
Speaking of socks, I think we should look at Karen Jenkins' socks.
Oh, I saw those the other day.
Look
They're
at
lovely, aren't they?
those. Now, is that self-striping?
Yes, it looks like Knit Picks Felici to me.
Well, I
I'm
suspect
totally wrong.
Well, I don't know.
The only reason I'm saying that is that quite a lot of the Knit Pick Felici yarns, some of the stripes are very close in colour.
Right.
Can you see how the stripes there?
Yeah.
That's actually different colours, but a few people have mentioned that they're not very happy about that, and I wouldn't be either.
Right.
You'd want it to look like distinct stripes, don't you? But they're beautifully knit.
It does make me interested and make me think about how would you ever dye... How do you dye a yarn so it does stuff?
Oh, it's very complicated. I have seen a couple
Hats
of
off to
YouTubes.
you all.
Yeah, there's different ways you can do self-striping yarns, but it's a long process whichever way you do it. And then you also need a warping board. I won't go into what that is about. It's basically this thing where your yarn ends up kind of doing that.
Right.
It all looked incredibly complicated to me, so hats off absolutely to people that hand dye self-striping, because
it's such an art form, isn't it? It is amazing when you consider some of the things that you see and how amazing some of them look. But in saying that, you can be unbelievable, because not to go on about it, but just go and look at Kay's project page and go back to the crazy Hubba Bubba socks, because I looked at those and thought, that's
someone at the door. It's Steve.
Would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? There is someone at the door, and what can we not do? We can't cut. So I'm going to have to carry on talking to you whilst Kay answers the door, and hopefully she will hot-foot it back so we can carry on with the pop. Kay, we can't stop this. Could you please return so we can continue with the pop show?
Yes, sorry.
Wonderful. So, Karen, amazing socks.
Sorry, I'm putting the mail down.
Amazing socks, I love them, and I think it's time that we should have a look at one of Nicole C. Mendez's hats.
I'm closer to you now.
It's a brioche cable hat.
Oh, it's lovely. I saw that, Nicole.
By Marilyn Blacketer.
Blacketer.
Do you know that name?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Doesn't that look nice?
It does look lovely, and I still haven't tried brioche, and I'm still a little bit afraid of brioche. I don't know why that is.
Why?
You have to knit 2 rows to get 1 row or something.
Right.
I don't know exactly how it works.
You can see why it's up Nathan Street then.
Yeah.
Should be double knitting next.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why it works so well with the double knitting thing.
And where's my double knitting, I hear you ask?
Yes, where is your double knitting, Dan?
Well, an update on this. I sent Nathan a message probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, because obviously we both have our forfeits to commit, and we've sent him his package.
We have.
and he's deep in the midst now of his secret project. It's all sort of coming to fruition right now, so that's super exciting because
it's not secret anymore.
Okay, well,
he announced it and everything.
He's
working on a project at the moment.
Okay,
yeah.
I dare say to him because he puts things in emails that maybe.
Oh right, no, he's done I've seen the YouTube
that's fine.
video.
Well,
yeah,
you can talk and I just won't say anything, just in case. Because I'm not sure, and I would hate to
it's all
betray
out.
someone's
It's all out in the
confidence.
open what he's doing now.
Yeah.
He's basically been doing a program for Sky Arts.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he's deep in the midst of that right now, and we are fixing a date as soon as he gets clear of that, which should be in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited about this because I've written my article in the Bakery Bear News this time is all about a new beginning and wanting to really embrace some new and more advanced techniques with knitting. So double knitting absolutely is down on that. My one fear with it is though that I have to use corporate spreadsheets though there is only one way to do it, and that is via a chart. It is just our issue, this.
It is. No, it's a chart, he said, but it's a different type of chart. It's basically like a cross-stitch chart, where it just shows you the colours that you've got to do it. It's not a chart in the sense of a lace pattern chart.
Well, on the
that's
pattern,
what he said anyway.
On the pattern that he wants me to start with.
And we're taking him on that, face value.
So no, I'm sure.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be
complicated.
So that is Nicole C. Mendez's beautiful brioche cable hat. And let's take a look at Jackie Quigley's 7th handbrake
I saw that as well last night, I think.
In that rather beautiful purple.
It's gorgeous purple, isn't it?
That nice?
It's like a, plummy sort of fuchsia. No, it's not fuchsia. Plummy sort of colour, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
And what's so interesting, Jackie, you made me think about my mum's friend, who's also called Jackie.
She is.
And we introduced her to the Bankhead.
Yeah.
And she knit 7 of those.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to my mum on the phone the other day, and she said, I don't know what Jackie's going to do now because she's knit so many of those, and she needs, something else to move on to. I said, well, she should knit a handbrake.
She should.
She should knit matching handbrakes for all the Bankheads. Because that's really what it was.
Idea.
Yeah, go for it. So I love that purple.
It's very beautiful. It's like a grape colour.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yes.
It's a definite grape.
Yes.
But that's not a grape that we ever see. That's always the grape that you see on the pictures, on the adverts.
Yeah.
We see much darker coloured grapes, or the grape that...
Black ones, you mean. Yeah, you're right.
And the grape that I've probably eaten the most.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get the black grapes in the supermarket?
Yes, you can.
How come?
They're not as common as the green ones.
Are they more expensive?
Don't know actually. Grapes in general are very expensive, especially at certain times of year, obviously when they're not seasonal and things.
I remember eating that type of grape in Spain.
Right.
So I wonder if it's the warmer countries that
could well be.
Get access to those.
Well, it's only the warmer
grapes.
countries really that grapes growing anyway, isn't it?
Yes. Oh no, Jackie.
What?
Oh, the Super Bowl.
What about
The Packers.
Oh, right.
They lost an absolute heartbreaker.
Did they?
And Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, I'm telling Kay because she hasn't got a clue. Although she did know quite a bit about American football when she was growing up.
I did used to watch. My brother watched it, so I just sort of picked up on stuff.
You'd be proud of her. Can you name me a quarterback of the New England Patriots game?
Oh, well, I would have been able to because that was the team I liked.
You see, well, that's good though that you even like. Can you name me any American footballer game?
Any American footballer?
Yes. Come on.
Dan Marino.
Yeah, there she goes. Legend. Right. The legend that is Dan Marino.
And who's the one that we saw recently that won the car? What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
They gave him like a pickup truck.
Oh, that's Malcolm Butler.
Oh, right.
Isn't that his son? He's a cornerback for... Oh, well, no, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
But Tom Brady gave it...
he was nice.
Tom Brady gave it to Malcolm Butler.
Because he got a touchdown or something.
Malcolm Butler won the game, they say. That's last year, that was.
Oh, that's right.
Well, yeah, the Super Bowl in January, February 2015.
Right.
But the Packers have just played a game against the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals didn't really play brilliantly well. And the Packers, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 Hail Marys and scored.
Oh.
I mean, just the most immense game. And yeah, poor Jackie, I know she'll be absolutely devastated that they didn't get through because the Packers are an amazing team and they're so good to watch. But big games coming up this weekend because Tom Brady, the one who likes, Tom Brady is playing Peyton Manning in probably what will be Peyton Manning's last game.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because...
Was he retiring?
Well, he's 39.
Oh, he's quite old then, isn't he, to be doing that?
But Tom Brady also, I think he's 38.
Okay.
Oh, he might
Looks
be,
well.
He might be 37. But Peyton Manning, it'll probably be his sort of last hurrah.
Right. And who does he play for?
Well, he used to play for the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
But then the Colts got rid of him and he went to the Denver Broncos.
Right.
But the Denver Broncos have been running with it like a young quarterback. It's all excitement. So yeah, it's going to be a big weekend. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets to the Super Bowl. I can't wait. But I think we need now...
Mr. Bakery Bear.
Yeah, and I got confused there. I was about to announce that this was Mr. Bakery Bear, knit by Grand Moff Tarkin. Kelly Jo Crafts, my apologies for calling you Grand Moff Tarkin. Look at him.
He's lovely, isn't he?
And look what he stood on.
And she said he was in pieces for ages, finished, but she'd just not got around to sewing him all up. And he's lovely, isn't he?
I love what he stood on.
It's like a knitted blanket.
And I love
very
his...
cute.
I love his shorts.
His little shorts are very cute.
His shorts remind me of my running shorts.
Right.
My
and I've actually got a Bakery Bear in that exact colour. I wonder if you use the same yarn. In fact, I've got one of them up there because I'm going to show you later for something.
Amazing. Doesn't he look great? I love the
very
ears.
Sweet. I love his little jumper. The ears are excellent, actually. Yeah.
And she's nailed the pose as well, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I think she said something about the eyes and wanting to make them bigger.
Well,
I can't remember.
But I think the eyes add character, don't they? So if they're not quite what you expected, it just gives them a bit more character. I love it.
Whatever eyes your bear is born with, are his eyes or her. Yeah. They're their eyes. And that makes me think, did we even watch Tangy Bear this Christmas?
No. Didn't watch Tangerine Bear? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
That's shocking.
I know, because you hate it.
No, I did. When did I say? I'm not disputing I don't like it, but did at any point you say, let's watch that? And I went, no, we're not watching that. It's awful.
I just forgot, to be honest, and me and Bryony love it. It's called Tangerine Bear. And maybe you know it. It's like just a little mini thing. I think it's about 20 minutes long.
Tom Bosley's in it.
Tom Bosley does a voice. It's a cartoon, an animated thing.
But
it's just the loveliest story. This little bear, and he's neglected because his mouth's been sewn on upside down, and I love it. And we didn't watch it, did we, this Christmas? Me and Bryony love it.
On the same DVD, it's got Gran on it, hasn't it, as well?
Oh, it's this DVD where there's a compilation of children's Christmas things. There's some terrible stuff on there. Absolutely terrible.
Hello, Gran, I love you.
Oh, it's awful.
And what's the My Mother?
Oh, Titch, I think it's called, or something. Dreadful.
And I always call it Twitch. By accident.
Yeah.
That's really funny. So that's what's off all your needles. And I think some of those projects, they're all absolutely amazing.
They are.
I think Nicole had a few hats appearing in there.
Has she been on a hat binge?
Maybe she has. Maybe it's really cold. It certainly is here.
Oh, I think it has been.
Speaking of cold, I hope everyone, I think it is the East Coast, isn't it? Is it the East Coast in the States? They forecast
Yes, I think it is.
some really shocking weather. So stay safe and stay warm, everybody. I saw that Maria Muscarella, she was stocking up on yarn so that she could get some serious knitting done.
Because as knitters, we don't have much yarn, do we?
Any excuse though.
Well, it is true, yeah.
Any excuse to get a little bit more.
Yes.
What's on your bookshelf? It's the Bakery Bears Book Club.
Right.
Shall I go first if you're knitting?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Show me. A
great big smile. I mean, nothing to you unless you watch CBeebies.
Which they may do because worldwide, I think those things
true.
go around. But tell us, what's been going on at Shell Cottage?
Well, I'm still reading Summer at Shell Cottage. I'm halfway through now. Same one as before, Lucy Diamond. And I'm like halfway through, and I'm still really, really enjoying it. And did I say last time that it was about? I did say what it was about, didn't I?
Yes.
And did I tell? I mean, should I tell you the story? What if people are reading it? And
well, you loosely say it's a book club.
Somebody died.
We established that last time.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Right, we did. Right, that's fine then. That person who I told you who passed away, his wife subsequently found out that he had this other life going on.
Oh, there's a child involved.
There's a child. He was going off to Shell Cottage to finish writing his books, and he was actually having this whole other life with this.
I really feel like
with the woman who's the housekeeper of the house, looks after the house when they're not there, and they've got a child and everything.
This sounds like the storyline to the third Ben Stiller movie where they meet the parents with Dustin Hoffman, and where there's a son, isn't there? Do you remember? Meet the Parents?
Yes,
Do you remember where they go and meet Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand?
Yes.
And the housekeeper has a son that looks just like Ben Stiller.
Yeah. No, it's not really like that, but no, it's so she's obviously completely devastated, and he's still processing all that. But it's summer, so what happens is in summer, like her children, who are grown up as well, and they've got children, they all go down to Shell Cottage, for a few weeks in the summer, and that's going on at the minute. So it's just really the lives, of what's going on, and talking about things that are going on in their lives, sort of back home and everything. But it's really, really interesting, really good, and I'm enjoying it. Are you off?
No, I'm coming back.
So I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely looking forward to finding out what's going to happen, but I do really want to get it finished because there's a couple of other books that I really want to start. Should I just mention those?
Yes, absolutely.
You know how we're going to do the thing on James Herriot? We've said, haven't we?
Yes.
I don't know when it's going to be, but...
Well, it's the next favourite places to knit.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
I'm 99% sure it's the next favourite place to knit.
Well, I really want to read a James Herriot book. I've never read one, and I love the series, when it was out in the, whatever it was, 80s, was it? 70s, 80s?
Yeah.
80s. So I thought, I'll get one of the books, and so I looked on Amazon thinking it was going to be really cheap, because it's donkey's years old, isn't it, the first one? It is called All Creatures Great and Small. And I looked and it was like £10. Oh, what's going on, £10 for a paperback? But it turns out it was republished recently. And do you know when they republish it and they put a different cover on and make it look a bit more up to date? Well, that's what they've done. So
you will pick one up, not you, but you can pick one up there second hand.
I could get a second hand one for a penny or whatever they are.
Definitely get one, and we'll have it for next time because it'll be in a month.
Or I might get it on my Kindle. I'm going to look and see how much it is on my Kindle. And then the other one that I really want to read is, it was recommended. I was watching a new podcast, new to me. I think she's got about 7-8 episodes now. It's called the Home Corner Podcast with Karen Elizabeth, her name. And she listens to a lot of audiobooks, and she'd been listening to this particular series of books because she loves Agatha Christie and had gone through all of those. And somebody recommended this author to her, and the author is M.C. Beaton. And she writes about a character called Agatha Raisin, who is kind of like a modern day, a little, very much more modern day Miss Marple. And I read a little bit of it like you can do on Amazon. And it looked really good. So I'm going to get that as well. And I think I can borrow that for free on my Kindle at the minute.
Cool.
So
Operation Mincemeat I finished.
All right.
And it had some lovely recipes in for Christmas. No, it didn't.
It did not.
Sorry. As you will remember, I'm sure, or just in case you didn't see the last episode of P.O.P, it's all about the Allied invasion in World War II that sort of kicked off D-Day and getting back into the occupied part of Europe and winning the war. And it was a really, really interesting story that I felt got a bit bogged down in the middle with the sort of military jargon, and that was where I was at the last time we spoke about this on the book club a couple of weeks ago, and it improved dramatically pretty much immediately after the book club. So it started great, and then it dipped in the middle and got bogged down by facts, and then it got really exciting again. Because I tell you when it got exciting, and this clearly for me is the bits that I enjoy. It started talking about the submarine commander, a guy called Bill Jewell, who...
Jewell?
Yeah, Jewell. And the submarine commander, Bill Jewell, he had to go and drop this body off that the Allies planted with letters on that would make the Germans think that we were going to invade in a different part. But then not only did he end up doing that, which was quite a tricky thing to go do, because he had to do it without being seen, and there was I can't remember what they called the German boats that used to go around. They've got a special name. Anyway, there's a German boat around, but he did it. But then the same submarine crew then had to, when the invasion was going to take place, they had to go and stick a beacon up so that all the ships coming in could see. And they basically said to Bill Jewell, they said, you keep that beacon on no matter what happens. So no matter how late we are, no matter how bright it might get, no matter how many people might start shooting at you, you keep that beacon on, otherwise we won't see where to land and we'll totally sail by the beach. Now, it said within the story, this Bill Jewell guy was a real hard nut, but then it said he then fell in love and he meets this girl, and it tells you all about this girl and tells you about how they used to borrow this car and go off for romantic drives and things, and you get a real buy-in to Bill Jewell and his girlfriend. So then when he has to go do this really scary mission, and I think it pretty much ended up being his last dangerous mission, because they then went and got married and settled down. And as soon as there was a story there that was real, that was a human story, that's when you suddenly start to buy into it again. So Operation Mincemeat, actually, I would end up recommending to you, if you're interested, in how did we get to where we are today, living in the world that we are today. Definitely. And if you're interested in World War II, because many of you might have seen, we started watching it and we stopped. We didn't really enjoy it very much. The Man in the High Castle, something on Amazon, which is all about how if the Germans had won the war, and what Germans and Japanese won the war.
I didn't know what was going on.
What the world would have been like. It was interesting, but it maybe just wasn't right for us at the time.
Well, not for me. Yeah, you would have probably carried on watching it.
Yeah, but it wasn't grabbing me firmly. So,
No.
So what am I reading now? Well, I spoke about this last time. It's Dictator by, I forgot his name, Robert Harris. What a complete fool. Not you, Robert. If you watch, if you watch it, I know you like to cast on after you finish the book.
Maybe he does.
This book is brilliant. I mean, really brilliant. And I think what I've established is I'm not a great rereader of books.
Oh, and I do.
Because I did start to try and reread the earlier ones of this. Maybe it's because I know the story so well, so I just knew what was going on. But I picked this up, and I was worried because I've been reading on my Kindle, and that has become, whilst we've spoken before about how we do prefer real books, which we do, reading on a Kindle, I think at night when you're laid in bed, is easier.
Well, it's good for us because I normally go to sleep before you, and then the lights can go off and he's just reading his Kindle and it doesn't bother me. So I think that's, it's good for that purpose.
But this book is just great. Robert Harris is just a brilliant writer. It grabs you immediately. Basically what's happened is he has had to go into exile, Cicero. So it's all about Cicero, this guy, this Roman senator. And he's had to go into exile because Caesar and Pompey, who are they're like politicians, have basically forced him out of Rome. And they've actually passed a law where no Roman on Roman land, on pain of death, is allowed to give him shelter. And no, that's fact. They would have killed you for letting him in the house. Gosh. So he's had to hot-foot it out of Rome, which he has done. And he's sought refuge, and all this is true. What Robert Harris does is, because obviously it's such a long time ago, we know loosely what happened, although more than loosely really, because the Romans were so good at writing things down. But he is, obviously the fiction element is the conversations that are taking place and the rationale of people, because you don't get that sort of information from the history books that are left. Although with Romans it is very good, and I think that's the other reason why I like it so much. I do know this story already, I do know what's going to happen. But what I'm enjoying is you're feeling like it's happening now. It's written in a very current sense. So I'd strongly recommend this. And it made me think, actually, when I picked this up and started reading it, and I asked Kay this same question, what are your 5 favourite books?
It's a tough one.
It really is a tough one. So that's maybe something we'll pick up on the next book club and also in the thread.
I could name probably 3.
Well, you guys start thinking about what your 5 favourite books are.
Me? Oh,
everyone out there, start thinking what your 5 favourite books are. And I know Kay, we would love to know. Because I think that's a good sign, isn't it, for another person who's thinking, what do I fancy reading at the moment? If they see suddenly everyone is putting out a very similar, book, or they're going to go for that one. It's a great recommendation, I think. So what are your 5 favourite books? Go to the book club thread and let's start talking about it. I'm going to as well.
Okay.
I think we should do the prize draw for the
Right.
$10 plus patrons.
Let's do that, and then I have got something else to talk about. Is
That's
that
cool.
okay?
Yeah. Get your iPad.
Here's my
Random
iPad.
number is already set up.
Is it?
I've forgotten to tell you what numbers to do it from until, which I'll do now. 40 to 241.
Hang on.
We don't even know what they're going to win.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Actually, no, you do. 40 to
40.
240 to 241.
241.
She's typing it in right now.
241. Are we ready?
Yes.
Generate.
Who's it going to be? Ooh,
Gosh,
it's a late one.
It's a late one. 2, 3, 4.
3,
I'm
4.
going to hold that up, and I hope you can see
Hold it
it.
up for everyone to see, and I will scroll down.
I hope you can see that. 2, 3, 4.
I'm scrolling.
2, 3,
Oh, we're getting
4.
close. We're getting close.
I can't see the numbers. Where are the numbers?
Oh!
Oh my gosh! We know this lady.
Yeah, I can't hold it up because you'll see other people's details. It's Carol Hobson.
Carol Hobson.
That's so cool.
Have we got
Look,
your address?
No.
We haven't got your address, Carol.
So,
Would you PM me on Ravelry your address?
would you believe Carol Hobson's won?
Carol Hobson.
What she won, Kay?
Well, shall I show
Well,
you?
I think you should show us.
I dug something out of my stash because I wanted to share this beautiful yarn with you all because you might not have tried it. I spoke about it before. It's John Arvin, Knit by Numbers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Zena, she used to.
Zena loves this stuff, and I've knit a hat in it. And I ordered a few other skeins the time I knit the hat. So this is, as the name tells you, it's colours by number, knit by numbers. So they're all numbers. This is number 67. It's a beautiful pink, and it is 100% merino wool. It's a DK weight, but I think you could get, it's DK. It's a nice juicy DK, if that makes sense. 250 metres you've got there, 273 yards, and there's the colour. So that's yours, Carol. Look at that beautiful thing. So it could be hat, gloves, mittens, cowl, anything you like really, toy, whatever you want to knit with that. So that's yours. So send me a PM with your address. I will get that in the mail.
Excellent. Tell us what else you need to talk about. You have 9 minutes.
Oh, excellent. I wanted to talk about our next knit along.
Ooh.
Which starts in 9 days' time.
What is it?
Or 10 days' time.
What is it?
It is the garment along, isn't
Ooh.
it?
Catchy name.
Well, we still haven't got a name. That's just made me think.
Garment along.
We can't call it that.
Hashtag
That's dreadful,
garment
isn't
along.
it? Please, somebody
Help
suggest. Somebody suggest to me. Put a message somewhere. Tell Dan, send us a message somehow.
That does actually quickly remind me. If ever any of you patrons have a question for Kay, direct it to me, and I will then get you an answer the quickest way. It's amazing the amount of messages we get, and we're so appreciative, and we do try and respond, but we're just getting to the point now where we want to make sure you guys always get a really quick response.
Yeah.
And if you message on Ravelry or even on Patreon, it can take a little bit longer to get to us. And also as well, if you message that way, we don't always know who you are.
Yeah.
Whereas if you email me, I know straight away who you are, and also it pings up straight away for me, and then I can get an answer for you.
Great.
So if you've got a question for either of us, a question for Kay about something, direct it to me, I'll ask Kay, and then I'll give you an answer.
Okay, so email Dan with a cool name for this garment along.
If you think of one.
If you can think of one.
Or by all means, for this, you can comment in the notes below here on Patreon.
Yeah, right.
So you can stick your ideas below here on Patreon.
And I thought I'd show you what I'm going to make.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Isn't that lovely? Oh, is that for me?
What?
I'd wear
If
that.
you want to wear that, then I will enjoy the day you put that on and
I
wear
would.
it.
Show everyone.
I'm going to attempt to knit the Indigo Frost. I'm sure I spoke about this before and I said it was one of the possible things I was going to knit, but I've decided I am going to knit this. So Sasha, I am going to knit the Indigo Frost. There it is. It's this beautiful poncho by Isabel Kramer. And I didn't want to buy yarn for it. I really wanted to try and use stash yarn. And it basically uses one colour for the main bit, and then I think you've got 3 other colours. It's either 2 or 3 other colours in the bit of, it's not even fair iron, it's like a slip stitch thing going on. So I had in my stash, I've got 7 skeins of this, which is Quince & Company Lark, the pattern is for a worsted weight, I should have said that. Quince & Company Lark in Frank's Plum, which always makes me laugh.
Just stop.
Sorry. In this, it's like this deep purpley plummy colour. So I've got 7 skeins of that, which I've not even checked, but I'm sure that'll be enough because there's 134 yards there, so that's got to be enough, hasn't it? I will check anyway. And then I thought for the contrast, I'll just have a little look at what I've got, and I pulled out three colours that I thought would go nicely. And these...
So it can't be a hat?
It can't be a hat, no.
Okay. Can't be socks.
I've got 2 which are, again, Quince & Company Lark, and then I've got 1 which is a coordinate that went with some Dancing Dog dye works that I ordered. She calls them mini skeins, but they're enormous, aren't they? So I thought those 3 colours with the purple, I think that goes really nice. What do you think? They're my kind of colours, aren't they? And as much as I love that colour, which is called Indigo Frost, I believe, that colourway, and that's obviously where the name came from, I think I'm more likely to wear it if it's in this colour.
It'll be lovely.
It is lovely, isn't it?
I like a jumper like that.
Yeah, it's really nice.
What could I knit as part of the garment salon?
Well, you could knit on that for me a bit, because the first... Well, I'll tell you what.
What?
The first bit of it is just this massive cowl neck, and it's just ribbing.
Right.
For however many inches.
Okay, well, I'll help.
So you could help me do that,
I'll
couldn't
help.
you?
It's a joint project.
A joint project.
Yes.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
I'll even put it on my project page.
Yeah, right. If you believe that.
You'll believe anything.
Also on the 1st of February, I believe it's the 1st of February, the new pattern from Susan Claudino is out, the little elephant pattern called Bugle, incredibly. Bugle Baby Elephant.
Nice.
It's called. Very excited about that.
And we have something very exciting happening in the next podcast. Well, we have 2 very exciting things. One thing that is the first round of the Trout versus the Bear, but we're also going to be talking about something else.
That's the thing I was referring to before.
Right, did you want to give people a tip off? No, well, no, I don't think we
No,
should.
I think we should keep it a secret.
We're going to have... I now see what you were talking about. Don't you say the word? Don't say it. Don't say it. It's so cool, though.
It's going to be the most fun ever.
We've been thinking very hard about some of the things we've been talking about, how it's really important in life that you're not governed by targets and spreadsheets and buzzwords and all that rubbish. Yes, in the professional life, to an extent, that is important. But in real life, it's really important that we focus on the good stuff.
Teamwork makes the dream work, guys.
No!
Don't.
Who fancies coming for the morning rumble?
No, huddle.
No, they have rumbles too.
They have rumbles in Sainsbury's supermarket, and every time we hear it over the tannoys, we're like, oh.
Who in corporate life thought having a huddle would make people go, yes?
Well, it never did in the bank.
It certainly did not. So we have a plan.
We should have a huddle.
We do. We have a plan, and it's so cunning, you're going to love it.
We can say what the thing is.
No,
the genre of thing.
No, I don't think we should.
Oh, right.
I don't think we should. We will talk about it at length.
Oh, it's so exciting.
It's the best.
You're going to combust.
Yes,
honestly,
I am. And
it is the most fun. I can't think of a more fun one of these that anybody has ever done.
All I'll tell you is, for me personally, this is going to shape my whole year. And the plan is that it does the same
I really
for you.
hope that people see it as a fun thing.
The point of this is to have some fun.
It absolutely is, and I really, really hope that people see it that way.
Whilst knitting.
It obviously involves knitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I really want to say, but
we can't.
Shouldn't, should we?
So that's the end of P.O.P number 5. I think it's number 5. I do get confused. We'll be back.
I'm looking at my mail down there because I know what's in it.
In a month, here on Patreon. With P.O.P number 6.
And we'll be well into our garments by then, won't we?
Yes. We will, of course, be back in a couple of weeks for the book club.
Right.
We're back next week.
I'm going to try and finish that by then.
Yes. We're back next week for the first round with Miss Tilly Trout. And yeah, there's just so much going on. It's so exciting.
There's lots of very cool things going on.
So stay safe if you're on the west coast of America.
East
Coast, yes. I'm such a fool.
Is it like Washington?
Yeah, somehow I doubt San Francisco is going to have a foot of snow.
That's the other side,
yeah,
isn't it?
That's the west. I'm such a fool.
They might get snow. Does it ever snow in San Francisco?
Oh, yes.
Do we know anybody in San Francisco?
Snow.
I don't think we do know anybody in San Francisco. Loads in California.
Oh,
so
we
I
must
suppose-
do. We just must not realise.
No, we must not realise.
You have to come and tell us if you're from San Francisco.
I love San Francisco. Well, I've never been, but I look, from what I've seen on the TV.
It
I
was
just
like the
love.
hills.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mad,
And
isn't
the
it?
trams and
It's mad.
Yeah.
Those hills. I
Yeah.
can't get my head
the
around
prison.
that.
Want to go to the prison?
This is not open anymore, though.
Isn't it? But you can go visit it.
Oh yeah.
It's not open for prisoners, no.
When did it stop being prison?
I think it was the 60s, wasn't it?
Right.
And there's some strange TV programme that's been on where all the prisoners reappear or something or other. It's really weird. I don't know. Very odd.
Strange.
That's the end of Pop. We will have a great weekend and we'll see you soon. We'll see you on Tuesday for the next cabling tutorial. Yay!